Welcome to this look at a clever new mod map on Farming Simulator 22 with me, MrSealyp. Ladies and gentlemen, please forgive the artistic license with the thumbnail. However, I was struck on this one like a thunderbolt with creativeness and an idea of something. It's quite a tangent, but just bear with me, hear me out, because actually I think it's quite cool. This is the isolated valley. This is by LeDuoProMapping, 63.74 megabytes to download. There's one required mod which downloads automatically. There are no other mods put into the build mode at all, so it's just that one required mod. The Rustic cabin by Elk Mountain Modding is the required mod. There are no custom crops, there are no contracts available. There are 20 collectibles. Might as well talk about all three game modes. The slot count is 582, which is pretty low anyway. And where I'm standing is the start farm. You start with a new farm. Obviously in Farm Manager Start from scratch you don't own it, but all the buildings, all the equipment and machinery is still here. The map looks like this. So it's a big, open, pioneering, build what you want type thing. However, there's something about this. Fuel prices are not too expensive as you go across the map for the plots, and you can buy every single plot. Everything's available, like so. I'm going to come back out of here and we'll have a look around the main farm area. We've got the Rustic cabin. Actually, no, we'll go back to the map because we start with a new farm, a plot 30. I've just bought that other plot, but we start with plot 30. That plot's only 112,796. So on Farm Manager Start from scratch, you won't have that plot, but it's not too expensive to purchase it if you wanted to. If we come inside the building, we've got lights we can turn on. There we go. We have got through this door, sleep trigger. Through this door, wardrobe trigger. Then we've got a little storage area above there if we want it. So lovely little cabin. Lights off, he says. Sorry, close the door. And close the door. Come round to our barn. And the other thing we'll say is all our start equipment and machinery. There's not a lot of it, but it's all at 100% damage. Everything needs repairing. So you see there, damage 100%. If I jump in there, our damage bar is right down. Everything needs repairing, fixing. Yep. So harvester with header, trailer, 2 tractors, plough, seeder, water tank and cultivator. That's it. Around the back we do have a small greenhouse just here. Like I say, it is here on all 3 game modes. Once you buy the land you'll have the greenhouse. There you go. To get you going, and a couple of small fields. That's it. So the rest of it is all pioneering. I don't know if anyone else noticed. I noticed when I started to drive. Now top of the map, let's go back to here. We've got a rent train point and it goes off to Goldcrest Valley, and the railway runs right the way down here. Now there's one downside to this, and I think this might get an update because I think the railway is nerfed. I think it's broken. I rented the train at the top of the map. I came down, rented train at this cluster of points here, and there's also a rent train point down there, and the train kept bouncing between, depending where I was, 2.1 kilometres to 2.2. Then it came back to 2.1. I thought, okay, it's going to start coming down now. Then it went back to 2.2. From here, I think it was 2.2 to 2.3, then 2.4, then back to 2.3, then back to, and it just never came. So I'm assuming we're going to get, we'll get an update, but it's Sosnovka. It's the Sosnovka map with everything removed. When you look at the layout of the rivers, look at the crossing there. You'll see me drive around here, because I went up here. There's not a bridge here, which I was looking for. This is where the sawmill was, with the mill pond by the side of the water. There's a crossing there, the old rickety bridge. Now what we don't have is the ford there, but there is a ford along here, which we can use. Then we've got all this side out here. So all the town, everything's been removed. So my brain immediately went, it's like an alternate dimension. It's like you've come through into a different world, through a portal. So imagine that scenario, that this is Sosnovka, but in this world there was no major industrial revolution. Maybe there was, I mean, we've got some equipment and machinery, but you could go anywhere you want with it. But this area of land was never settled. It was never built upon. There were never farms put here. There was never a road network put in. And my brain's just fizzing. It's all this kind of, wow, it's kind of a bit mind-bending when you look at it like that. You start thinking, that's incredible. And when you look out across, you start, if you've played on Sosnovka, if you haven't, go onto the Sosnovka map and have a look. Now, I'm in no way knocking the modder, the map maker, for using the base game Sosnovka map and just taking it, because I think it's a brilliant idea. I think it's very, very clever, because it allows you to then make a map, the map, however you want. You see the rickety bridge there? So there's normally a bridge that comes over here. There was a grain mill there. The main vehicle shop was up there. We went around the side. Hills. I remember playing on Sosnovka and doing forestry there. And so anyway, we'll drive around a little bit just so you can get a kind of feel. Like I say, if you have played on Sosnovka, it will strike you immediately as we go around. You'll suddenly think, oh yeah, you know, it's. I think, I don't know. Is it just me? I don't know if I'm having some kind of. I'm either having a massive nervous breakdown or some kind of epiphany. It's one way or the other. I'm not too sure at the moment. Let's go and grab the tractor. Oh, I was going to say as well, if you decide to remove these buildings, and you can remove them once you're on the land, and if you decide to remove all the start equipment and machinery, it will look like this. And I got the slot count down from 582 to 435. Now this may not be your cup of tea. It's a very kind of no man's land-esque thing. I mean, at the end of the day, that's realistically what it is. When we get to the sort of sell point cluster, well, you'll see when we get there, I think it's been done to leave you the opportunity to put in what you want with regard to the furniture, the nuts and bolts of it. I'm not going to go up to the northwest of the map to that rent train point, but what I am going to do, I'm going to take you over here because this. I'm just thinking because this is where the farm is. This is where the main farm is on Sosnovka. So it's that kind of almost early frontier. You know, maybe this. I mean, obviously, if you took away the more modern tractors and went for, well, I suppose it would be difficult without having horse-drawn equipment and that kind of thing. But you could go back a bit further and do that whole thing of it was never built up. It was never built on. You know, I don't know. That's just like I say. That's my mind fizzing, and that of course assumes you're probably going to be watching this thinking, what was he talking about at the start about the thumbnail? Because I've got an idea for my thumbnail. I haven't made it yet, but I've got an idea. So here's the rickety bridge, the Sosnovka bridge. Just over there was where there was a crossing. It's had quite a few different versions, to be fair. So I'm not sure even if the ford here was still even a thing. And the river runs around there. If you follow the track up around here, there was a pig farm, and you know, the biogas plant was over in that direction as well. There was like a water pumping station at the bridge over there. Now that bridge is missing too. So the only other crossing point in this one, I mean, there's nothing stopping you as well of putting in bridges wherever you want, because when we get to about here-ish, I think it is, the railway's there. That always ran down. There was a railway yard on the original Sosnovka on here. I mean, this is not Sosnovka. This is the isolated valley. I'm saying they're just using the base game thing. That was where you could send your logs off. You pulled the lever, the train went, and you got paid twice. You got paid when the train left and then when it got to its destination, which I always thought was really cool. There were sell points and roads along here, sheep farm around this area. You know, I just find it fascinating. Every now and again you'll come on a map that's been updated or altered slightly, and you'll go around thinking, this seems familiar. And initially the map, it didn't strike me with the map. It was only when I was trying to find a crossing point on the river, I got to here and suddenly thought, oh wow, that's cool, that's just like Sosnovka. Then my brain went, hang on a minute. I love it. I think it's genius. Anyway, I'm going to head back round. And I'm going to cross over at the ford and then head out to those sell points. Again, just see, you know, at the end of the day, there's no more to the map other than when we get to the sort of sell point area and the rent train. I'll try and rent a train again just in case it might have been a glitch, it might have been a problem for some reason. I'm not quite sure why. The mind boggles. I haven't come across one of the collectibles. Like I said, there are 20. Well, it says there are 20. I haven't found one. It'll be like cassette tapes or cheeses or something like that. They usually are. I mean, I'm saying that. That's a wild assumption based on the previous map tours. It's so cool. And there's no fences. There's no, you know, there's none of that. Oh, okay, there's a couple of bridges here and there. But other than that, those couple of bridges and obviously the main farm, there's no man has not been here kind of thing, you know? Or woman. Or whoever. I really hope the train works. I know I've said this many times, but it always depends. Things like this, No Man's Land, and you know, any of the big maps that are, in essence, a pioneering. I mean, this isn't pioneering in that you've got to clear away a forest to even do anything. There's plenty of wide open spaces for you to put in fields and do what you want, and placeables and factories, and if you want to go down that route or just have it all farming. There's a few trees here and there to be removed. But for some people, I know I've always been one of them, I find this incredibly exhilarating and exciting, and the prospect of doing it is awesome. But then I'm hit with this trepidation and almost anxiety of I wouldn't know where to begin. I wouldn't know what direction to go in. I suppose it's that thing of just going with whatever, being fluid, being flexible and not minding. But there's always that thing of second guessing yourself of should I have done it a different way? I don't know. It's weird, isn't it? And I have no idea whether this was the map maker's intention at all. You know, it may not have been. It may have just been, you know what, I'm going to use this as a base map, and let's just make it a sort of pioneering, build it, do what you want map. It may well be that this was genuinely the intention. I honestly have no idea. So, as you can see, no buildings. We've got all the icons and triggers for the various different things, but the buildings aren't here. We've got a workshop trigger just here. We've got the vehicle shop trigger just here. So as far as putting in whatever buildings you want to, you might want to have an old shack, you might want to have just a lean-to shelter, you might want to have just a toolbox with an umbrella over it, I don't know, or you might want to go for a full-blown establishment. But you've got the scope to pick whichever one of those or any other route in between you want to go down. If we come over here, this is South Valley Biomass Energy. And again, because there's no building, sometimes it can be a little bit kind of tricky to know what you want to do. But the sell points here are, that's going to be a problem. Mind you, no, there's plenty of sell points and stuff. I was going to say, in the mod hub, there are plenty of sell points and facilities and factories and stuff that have sell points. Because I was going to say, if the train's not operating properly, you then can't sell anything if everything's being sold to Goldcrest Valley. Because the biomass energy place will only take certain things, including Co-op Agricole. That's an interesting one. Co-op Agricole. Where's that? Am I missing something somewhere? Goldcrest Valley, rent train. Rent train. That's the silo. South Valley Biomass. Is there another sell point under that? It looks like there might be two there. Potentially. Nothing else is coming up. I'm zoomed in as far as I can. Because we have got a wood point there, but that might be for the biomass energy. So you've got your sell point. But anyway, like I say, you can put plenty in. And then this is Grain Pool East. So this is like a railroad transfer silo without the silo. But again, if you buy the land around it, I guess you could put something in. I don't know how you'd put a silo in here. Oh, there we go. Spoiler, sorry. Farm Crisis 3, absolutely. Rent train point there, and then we've got our animal dialogue box there for your animal dealer. Again, you could put some pens or stuff next to it, or again, however you want to. I keep saying again, but however you want to go about that is up to you. I'm going to see if it changes. So it's sat on 2.5, and I was doing some other things. I was trying to work out some stuff for a thumbnail, and I kept looking back thinking, there you go, 2.4, it will go back to 2.5. If it comes down again, I'll be really happy. 2.3, please work. Come on, 2.2, keep going. Nope, it's gone back up again. Yeah, I think the train's mullered, I believe is the technical term. So it'll come back down again. And it did that at the north rent train point, and there's another rent train point. You can just see it just off in the distance. There's a little blue mark, or smudge. That's another rent train point there. That's this one down here. It did exactly the same there. 2.3. It's going to go back to 2.4, then 2.5 again. Yeah, that's a pity. And it might be that these. I'm not, again, I'm just playing devil's advocate here, but like I say, I think the concept, if that's my concept, not necessarily the map maker's concept, but I don't know whether these triggers are too close together for you to be able to add. I mean, I suppose you can put buildings this side for the animal dealer, and I guess if you wanted to put a building, might be a little bit trickier to do this side. Let's have a look at the map. How much room we got this side? Well, you could buy all of that. Plus, you could do some landscaping, and you could put in a larger building here if you wanted it to be your railroad depot silo type thing. What are these worth? 50 grand? Have some of that, son. But there you go, and that's the map. I mean, I say we could drive around and have a look at all the rest of the open space. Like I say, there's another bridge over there. I could throw the drone up. Whiz out across here. But that is the map. The Isolated Valley by LeDuoProMapping. There we go, all over here. Was that railway line as well? Ah. That's an interesting one. I suppose it was, wasn't it? Yes, the bridge that's missing is here. The railway did run along there, didn't it? And there was a road bridge that was further along here because there was a whole railroad depot on Sosnovka over here. But there you go. I hope you found this useful and informative in some way, shape or form. If you have, please give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free. And if you want to share this video, then please be my guest. Whatever you should choose to do. Thanks for watching.